All right, welcome back to the channel of Pro and Vids, and tonight this is my official thoughts on both the Maroons and New South Wales Blues sides for 2024 for Game 1. So, basically just an overview of my sort of thoughts on both sides for Game 1 next Wednesday at Accor Stadium. So, should be an exciting sort of series ahead. I'll just say very quickly, it should be a great series. I'm looking forward to State of Origin like every other year. And this year should be no different with excitement and entertainment. So bring it on for this year, and I'm very much keen for it yet again. But as always, if you are new watching the channel right now, please be sure to like this video and to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Will be greatly appreciated. And more importantly, enjoy the video, enjoy the live actually, and. Because I was actually sort of thinking about whether I will go live tonight and do talk about the teams, give my honest thoughts on both the Maroons and Blues sides. But I have, and just the honest thoughts on both sides for tonight. And as always, hope you all enjoy. But I'll just go through the comments quickly and see who's here. So we've got Jason Reader in the chat. Hello, Jason. Good to see you, mate. We've got Aga Famanu. Hello. Let's go New South Wales. Yep, up the mighty Blues. Liam and Michael as well. So good crowd so far. I'm sure it will build up as the stream goes on. But if you're a Queensland fan watching, I'm sorry, but I'm a Blues man. My heart's with Blues. So but no, it'll be a good series. Should be good. All right, basically what's happening is I'll go through both sides. So I'll start with the Blues first, as they're the better state. But I'll go for the Blues team first. So basically go through their positives in the back line, negatives in the back line, positives in the forward pack, and negatives in the forward pack, and go through the whole sort of team like that with things I like, which are the positives, and things I don't like, the negatives for both the Maroons and Blues sides. So let's get through it very quickly here. So here we go. My thoughts on the Blues team. So, right. I guess, here we go. So I'll get this team up as well. Give me one quick sec. All right. So, look. I think the team is pretty good, honestly. I know a lot of people are saying it's not the greatest Blues team. Obviously, it won't be because we've got heaps of stars out, and obviously it was always going to be a tough team to name. Missing guys like Adam Reynolds, Nathan Cleary, Mitchell Moses, which were probably the next best options to replace Cleary in the halves. But we've got Jerome Luai and Hines as the halves there. But look, that's the team right there, obviously. And a couple of things I do like about the Blues team and backline is that one positive is that Dylan Edwards will be replacing James Tedesco at fullback. Now, I'll be honest, I like that as a move. I really do like it. Look, there's no doubt in mind that Tedesco has been a top player for a long time, especially for New South Wales. He's been a loyal servant to the Blues. He's done a great job for the state for many years now. I believe it's the first time since 2016 he's been dropped from the Blues team. So it's been, that just goes to show you he's been consistent for a long time there, and really has not let the state down, and he hasn't. Honestly, he hasn't. But maybe towards the back end of 2023, maybe it was time for a change that became more visible. But I guess having Dylan Edwards as the fullback to replace him is a good call, in my opinion. Edwards has been, winning comps as of recently. He's been a fantastic performer each and every single week. And as Michael Maguire said, Michael Maguire did say that he's been watching Dylan Edwards the last couple of years and how consistent and how he's so in the game all the time, and that does warrant for me a Blue spot. So he deserves, I reckon he deserves it, and that's one change I like. The other positives I think for the Blue side are having Joseph Suaalii and Zach Lomax's debut. Now obviously the big one is Joseph Suaalii, because I know not everyone's a fan of it, because yes, he's going to rugby union next year, and obviously that goes to show his heart lies in union more than NRL in the near future. But see, the reason why I like Suaalii there is basically because I feel like he is good enough to be in the Origin arena. And I know people will say, where's I would have rather had Jesse Ramien there. I would have rather had Daniel Tupou there. I would have rather have all these other guys over Suaalii. I get that. But I would have had Ramien in the team too. I won't lie. I would have had Jesse Ramien there all day. But for me, Joseph Suaalii has been playing great footy for the Roosters. Obviously very young still, I get it, but, I think it's young, it's pretty much a lot of rookies in both sides. Like Queensland have rookies, Blues have rookies, and I think Suaalii deserves it, He's a big game player, and I know Suaalii has not played in many big games before, but he's a big game player. He's definitely one for the stage, I feel like, for Origin, so I'm happy with his selection. Zach Lomax's debut is also good. I mean, the way Zach Lomax has played so far this year definitely is worthy of Origin. Um, I know he's playing on the wing, which apparently he doesn't like, but I think he'll play front row and he'll play back row. He'll play wherever the coach tells him to. Ever meant he was playing for the Blues in State of Origin. So, look, where Zach Lomax plays does not matter, but I think him getting a Blues jersey is a really important sort of achievement for him. But just I think it's good for the Blues too. I think he deserves it a lot. And no, he's definitely someone that has improved out of sight under Shane Flanagan at the Dragons. So yeah, no, great move adding Zach Lomax to the team there. And the last one, it's speculation at the moment, but I guess in today's press conference, Michael Maguire said he's good to go. So I'm assuming he is good to go for Origin. Nico Hines is good to go. So apparently Nico Hines is all fit to play. And if Hines is good to go, that means the Blues will be a bit more settled come next Wednesday. So for me, that's some of the positives right there. So now looks good. Now to my backline negatives to the Blues. Believe it or not, I have no negatives to the backline. I think with who's available, that's a pretty good backline in my opinion. I think that's the best we could have picked based on injuries and who's out and whatever. Edwards, Toto, Crichton, Suoliti, Lomax, Luai, Hines. With injuries and having players out for certain reasons, that's a pretty good backline in my opinion. So I think Madge Maguire's done really well in terms of that. All right, moving on to the forward pack now. So the forward pack's obviously the big one here. So the Blues forward pack is Jake Trbojevic as the captain. You got Reece Robson, Payne Haas, Angus Crichton, Liam Martin, and Cam McInnes at lock. So, okay, the positives for me for the Blues forward pack are that Jake Trbojevic and Haas are the starting props. I think in most people's predicted Blues team, they would have had Jake and Haas starting either way because I can't think of much better players you could have starting for the Blues. I know you could have potentially Junior Paolo starting or Regan Campbell-Gillard or Mitch Barnett starting. You got a couple of options there, but really, when you think of Jake Trbojevic and Payne Haas, both these guys could play for long minutes of time. Jake Trbojevic can play 80 minutes, like he's obviously been doing that at Manly, but more recently has been, I guess, having more breaks, like coming off a bit more earlier than expected. So, but look, Jake has a big motor in him. He suits Origin no matter what. So he's a great starter for the Blues, and he's very important to the team. Payne Haas, for a big guy, can play a long minutes too. Like, obviously, he's been good for the Broncos this year, I feel like. And, yeah, he's very consistent. Like, Payne's a great player. So I think him and Jake starting props is good for the Blues. The other positive is that Cam McInnes makes his Blues debut. And I feel like for McInnes, it's been a debut that has been in the waiting for a long time, only because I feel like he's so tough, and I think toughness is a big part of making the Blues team or making the Origin arena, I must say. So, for McInnes to make his State of Origin debut is definitely a good move. And he would know Michael Maguire too from the Rabbitohs days, so that probably helps with his selection too. But yeah, no, he's been playing good footy for the Sharks. Definitely a most improved player there. And I've always rated Cam McInnes. Honestly, great defender, very tough player. Started off as a hooker, but became a lock very quickly and a very good lock as well. So I'm sure if he's starting, because I've got a feeling Isaiah Yeo might start instead before kickoff. But if McInnes is starting at lock, great move, I think, and he'll definitely tackle and do the job very well, I reckon. The other sort of positive for the forward pack, I reckon, is that we're going to see, Angus Crichton back in the fold too, because this is Angus Crichton's first time playing State of Origin since 2022, I think. So, obviously at the start of the year, not many people were sure if Angus Crichton would get back to where he was, or once was, I should say, because at the start of the year, Angus Crichton was playing reserve grade. He was playing New South Wales Cup for the Roosters week in, week out, because that's where Trent Robinson had him originally playing reserve grade. But then as soon as Angus Crichton came back, he seemed to come back with a bit more of a clearer mindset and play the footy that we all know he can, like play really tough, runs good lines, great defender. So I think having Angus Crichton in that Blues team is great. And personally, I'm very happy with it. Very happy with it personally. Now, onto the negatives for the forward pack, so the things I don't like. Okay, the negatives I have. So, Reece Robson to start over Api Korosia. Now, it's not that Reece Robson doesn't deserve a selection, because I think Reece Robinson's more than worthy of playing Origin. He's a great defender, very tough player. His form for the Cowboys this year has been really good. So I think Reece Robson definitely is an Origin player and deserves his spot, I reckon. But it just looked better if Appy Coruscant was there too. I can't help to think that having no Appy, there's a bit of a mistake by Michael Maguire. It may not be because maybe Madge preferred having an 80-minute hooker there. And I guess you have McInnes who can also play hooker there too. So I'm assuming at some stage we'll see Robson and McInnes rotate that hooker role, I'm assuming. But I don't know. I think even playing for the Tigers, Abby Coruscant has been really good for that Tigers team this year. I know that Madge is picking on form, and I would have picked Abby Coruscant on form because his form for the Tigers has been really good, but maybe because he's playing for a club like them, his sort of form isn't really seen. So that's maybe the reason why Appy got overlooked. And plus, I think Madge would know Appy from the South days when he was at the Rabbitohs, so it's a bit of a shock to overlook him there. But apparently, Appy took it well. Apparently, Madge and Appy talked, and Appy was fine with it, so that's good, I guess. But yeah, if I was to pick the team, I would have definitely had Appy Coruscant over Reece Robson. Absolutely would have. And the last negative for me, the thing that I'm sort of against, I'm not totally against it because I get why Liam Martin is starting because Liam Martin is an out-and-out Origin player. And look, I know Liam Martin's probably a player that, been a bit quiet so far this year. I reckon Liam Martin has been quite quiet for the Panthers this year. That's a unpopular opinion, but I do think he's been a bit quiet this year, which is why in my predicted Blues team, I did not have Liam Martin there. But that's why I've got Olakuatu starting. Like, I'd rather see Hamoli Olakuatu start over Martin. Now, that might be a bit of manly bias coming out of me because, yes, I'm a bit biased sometimes. I will admit that. But, yeah, I think based on form, Olakuatu has been the better back rower than Liam Martin for at least the last 5 weeks anyway, I reckon. So I would have started Olakuatu over Martin personally, with Angus Crichton being the other back rower. That's just me. But Liam Martin's done there. He's done the job before. And I can see why Martin is starting. I mean, you've got to respect players that have done the job before starting in the Blues team, which Martin has. So, look, fair enough. I don't hate it personally, but I would have had Olakuatu starting. But again, that might be manly bias. Who knows? All right, now onto the bench now. So, my positives for the bench that Madge has named. So, the first one is that Hudson Young has made the Blues team and is going to come off the bench. Now, I guess Hudson Young was someone that people had in their team and some people didn't because he was very 50-50 in most people's predicted teams I saw. But I'm just glad Hudson Young's playing because Hudson Young is a typical Origin player. Runs hard, tackles hard, bit of a grub too. And I think we need that aggression. Like Hudson Young is a bit of a grub sometimes. But like a good grub, like a really good grub, which means he'll bring aggression. He'll get under the skin of some Queenslanders, hopefully. And, could put some off their game. So that's why I think he's very important for the Blues team, Hudson Young. So I'm just glad he's been named personally. I really like how he's been named. So, yeah, Hudson Young for the Blues is great to see. The other sort of positive for me is, Olakuatu playing for the Blues. And I've got to say, it's a massive relief seeing Olakuatu play for the Blues because for the last couple of years, for whatever reason, Brad Fittler has been so reluctant to picking Olakuatu for the Blues. Who knows why? I don't know, but yeah, at least Michael Maguire sort of saw that Olakuatu was Blues ready and he'll make his State of Origin debut next Wednesday. So it's about bloody time, in my honest opinion. But the main thing is Olakuatu's made it, and I'm sure he'll kill it. I mean, based on Manly form this year, he'll definitely go well in Origin. So, it should be good. And in the chat there, Monkey says Hudson Young picks on DCE. Yeah, he does, actually. I've always noticed that. Hudson Young and DCE do have a little rivalry against each other, actually. So that's a good point there. But, that's my positives for the bench. That's my positives for the Blues bench right there. Hang on a second. On to my negatives now. So my negatives for the Blues bench. Right, so the things I don't like about the Blues bench. So a couple of things I don't like about the bench we've named is that Isaiah Yeo comes off the bench. Now, I've got a gut feeling that Isaiah Yeo will come and start before the game does kick off. I reckon there's a good chance Isaiah Yeo will start with McInnes to the bench. But just the first glance at the team, having Isaiah Yeo coming off the bench makes zero sense to me. I don't see Isaiah Yeo as a bench player or an impact player by any means. Don't get me wrong, Isaiah Yeo is a terrific player, like a very good player. one of the best locks in the game, like top 3 lock in the game, 110%. But it's hard to imagine what kind of impact Isaiah Yeo will bring from the bench, because I don't see Isaiah Yeo as being someone that will bring, a whole heap of meters off the bench and will, run for this amount of meters and whatever. I think he's more beneficial starting at lock. But yeah, again, Madge might start him late and we can just sit the bench. I would not be shocked if that happened, but that's probably the only negative I have there with Isaiah Yeo off the bench. The other one for me is that Spencer Leniu will play for the Blues after 4 games only. So I'm sure we all remember, but Spencer Leniu obviously in round 1 got suspended for about, how many games was it? Like 7, 8 or something, I think, after what happened in round 1 against the Broncos in Vegas. So it was gone for a long time there and came back around round 9, round 10, I think. And obviously only played 4 games or 3 games, I should say, since his suspension. So, I don't know how that's enough games for me to give Leniu a Blues jumper. I know Spencer's been in the squad before and has gone very close to playing for the Blues, but I just don't think he's ready for Origin. No. I think he is ready for Origin. I think he's a typical Origin player that brings aggression and will bring a lot of energy from the bench. But I'm just saying, though, like, 4 games, that's not enough for me. I think there's more deserving players out there. Like, I think Mitch Barnett deserves a spot over Spencer Leniu. I think Taniela Paseka deserves a spot over Spencer Leniu. I think Paseka's been great this year. I don't think he's missed a game for Manly at all this year, Paseka. So I would have had him over Spencer Leniu easily. Even I would have had Stefano Utoikamanu over Leniu. I think I would have even had Stefano over him. So I don't know. I still back Leniu. I think he's a great player. Will bring a lot of energy off the bench, but come on, 4 games and that's warrants an Origin selection. I don't agree with that at all, personally. I think it's a bit of a stuff up there, but I'm sure time will tell, and we'll see how Leniu goes, I guess. So time will definitely tell. All right, so that's the Blues team done and dusted. So we'll move on to the Queensland team now. So time for my sort of view on the enemies here. So yeah, my view on the enemies team. All right, so look, I guess the Maroons for me, I got to be careful what I say here, obviously, but no, look, I got to say the Maroons have a good team. Obviously, don't have many players yet compared to the Blues, because obviously Blues have a lot more players out from that state compared to Queensland. But Queensland have a great squad. Obviously, very well balanced team, great backs, very fast backs actually, strong forward pack and very mobile bench. So Queensland again have made a very, very good team. All right, time for my positives in the Maroons side for the backline first of all. So the thing I like in in the Maroons backline is that Tom Dean will be replacing Munster at 5'8". Right call in my opinion. I know a lot of people are saying that Ezra Mam should start 5'8" over Tom Dean, but honestly, I don't think so personally. I wouldn't have started Ezra Mam over Tom Dean, because last year Dean did the job very well in Origin. When Munster was out as well, Dean came in and did a great job. I think it was game 3 came in, and Tom Dean killed it, absolutely killed it. So I think Tom Dean's more than worthy of being another Origin sort of another selectee. Tom Dean deserves his spot. And him and Cherry Evans killed it last year. So I think Tom Dean coming in for Munster is probably a good thing for the Maroons. It's obviously not a great thing for New South Wales, because obviously, Queensland. I mean, Tom Dean, how he played for Queensland last year was just, unbelievably good. So we've got to watch out for him. But for Queensland, though, it's a big positive having Tom Dean in that team. I guess the other positive for the Maroons is that Reece Walsh will keep his fullback spot over Kalen Ponga, because obviously, Reece Walsh was obviously talked about as being a guy that we left out of the Maroons team this year, only because Kalen Ponga is back being fit again. I mean, not quite fit, but is playing good footy. And people thought that Ponga would take his Maroons spot off Reece Walsh once he's fit. But I think for the Maroons' sake, it's good seeing Reece Walsh keep his spot at fullback, because did great last year, absolutely killed the Blues last year. And I think Billy Slater has a lot of faith in Reece Walsh and what he can do. I mean, he's a freak, obviously. We can all see what Walsh does for that Maroons team last year and whatever. So, I think having Reece Walsh in that Blues team, for the Maroons team, my bad, is probably a positive for them. So that's my positives in the Maroons backline there. Danny says, who is the referee for this year's Origin? I'm not too sure yet. I don't know if it's been actually announced yet, but I'm sure we'll find out very soon. All right, so on to the negatives in the backline. So the things I don't like about the Maroons backline. So I guess the first thing is Murray Talangi makes the cut. So look, I don't know. Murray Talangi is a great player for the Cowboys, very good winger personally, and obviously does a job every single week. But I just don't know if Talangi has done enough for me to play for the Maroons this year. Like, I know you could start Cobbo, you could have whoever else you believe could be starting that Maroons back line. But Murray Talangi, I don't know. Like, good player, don't get me wrong, but just don't believe he's been doing well enough to get an Origin selection. That's my honest opinion there. Good player, as I've said, but just, I don't know. Based on this year's form, I don't really reckon he deserves a Maroons jumper. I think his best year was definitely 2022, and the whole Cowboys team had that big year together. And I feel like the last couple of years, Murray Talangi has dropped off a little bit. I mean, 2023, Talangi wasn't too bad, but 2024 so far this year, for me anyway, I don't think he's done enough, in my personal opinion, to get a Maroons jumper. So, So, look, obviously, he's in the team, so good on him, but I don't believe he deserves it, in my honest opinion. Okay, on to the forwards now. So, the positives for that forward pack the Maroons have. So, Reuben Cotter and Lindsay Collins as their starting props. I think that's great for the Maroons. Obviously, lay a good foundation, them two. Reuben Cotter is as tough as they come. Very tough prop. Not the biggest prop in the world, obviously, but very tough and very gritty. And that does suit what Queensland are made of. Very, tough and gritty sort of, standard that Reuben Cotter does set. So, Cotter starting at prop is good. And, Lindsay Collins starting at prop is good as well. Lindsay Collins has been a great player for the Maroons too, and obviously a very consistent performer for the Roosters. So, having both Cotter and Collins up front is probably a good move for the Maroons. And, the other positive for them as well, I think, is also having Jane Sewer come back to the Origin fold too, because I don't know when Jane Sewer played for the Maroons last. It might have been 2021 or 2020. But it's been a couple of years though since James Sewer has played for the Maroons. But his form for the Dragons this year's been really good. Probably one of the most improved Dragons players so far this year, or as I should maybe say, one of the most improved NRL players so far for 2024. So having James Sewer and that Maroons team probably is well deserved. So I think it's a positive right there for them. My negatives for the Maroons forward pack. Believe it or not, I've got no negatives there. I think it's a very good forward pack, actually, very strong forward pack. Very competitive forward pack. And no, honestly, I can't really see any weaknesses in that forward pack. It's very strong. You give me a backline with Reuben Cotter, Ben Hunt, Lindsay Collins, James Sewer, Jeremiah Nanai, and Patrick Harrigan. That's a very strong forward pack there. So, I'm sure they'll come out to try and bash the Blues, but hopefully the Blues are up for the sort of fight up against that forward pack right there. And I know there's no Tom Gilbert or no Tino Fa'asuamaleaui, but even without those two, that's still a very good forward pack. So done well there, the Maroons. Okay, now on to my sort of thoughts on the Maroons bench now. So the Maroons bench is Harry Grant, Mikey Fotuaika, Jermaine Hopgood, and Selwyn Cobbo, which is the big move there. That's a huge move, how you Selwyn Cobbo off the bench. But there's a reason why I like it, though. I'll explain it in a second. But the first positive for me for that Queensland bench is that Jermaine Hopgood will make his debut. That's the very first positive, that Jermaine Hopgood will make his debut for the Maroons. I feel like for a while now, Jermaine Hopgood has deserved this opportunity for the Maroons. I think it's a while coming too, because, he could have played last year, Hopgood. Definitely could have made his debut for the Maroons last year, but This year finally gets his chance to don the maroon and gold jersey, whatever the other color is. But yeah, no, I think it's well deserved. Hopgood, very tough player, and I think he's what Origin's all about. Very gritty, tough players, and yeah, he suits that arena very well. The other one for me is that Harry Grant comes off the bench. Unlike New South Wales, at least the Maroons have a clear hooker rotation. Like Ben Hunt starts, obviously, and then when Ben Hunt gets tired and goes to the bench, Harry Grant will come on with his impact, and it's just such a dangerous sort of move to have, like a very dangerous sort of rotation. Very dangerous move, obviously. Harry Grant from the bench is just so dangerous because we all know what kind of player Harry Grant is. Like, obviously, has a lot of great things in his game, very smart dummy half, and yeah, once he's on the field, he'll definitely bring a lot to that Maroons team. So I think having him as an impact player off the bench is very smart by Billy Slater. And yeah, one thing for sure is that he won't let the Maroons down. That's definitely, I think, to guarantee that Harry Grant will do his best for the Maroons and won't let them down no matter what. And I suppose the last positive for that bench the Maroons have named is that, yeah, well, the big one, obviously. And I mean, a lot of people don't like it because they're like, where the hell is Selwyn Cobbo going to play? Like, where's he going to play? He's a winger, like he's a back, like not a forward, like he may play as off the bench. But see, the reason why I like it is that because it's a masterstroke by Billy Slater. In my honest opinion, it's a masterstroke because Solon Cobbo is a big body, very athletic, obviously, and yeah, for his size, very fast as well. I think he'll come off the bench and definitely play in the middle for sure. And in case there's injuries too, like you never know, injuries can strike at any stage of the game. So that's why it's very smart carrying Cobbo off the bench. But you just watch, Solon Cobbo will go out there, play a bit of lock, maybe even play a bit of prop. Solon Cobbo could even play prop. And I suppose Billy Slater's clear role would be Selwyn come on and just run the ball. Like seriously, that's what Selwyn Cobbo's role is for that Maroons team. Run the ball, run with energy, and just literally dominate the game with his strength and his size. Because once Selwyn Cobbo can roam around the field and just run wherever he can, it's very dangerous actually. So I can see it being a real masterstroke here by Billy Slater having Cobbo off the bench. I seriously like it. I really do. As a Blues fan, I like the fact I've got Cobbo off the bench, and not good for us obviously because that's the wild card having Cobbo off the bench. But yeah, as a Blues fan, I'm sort of worried about it. But yeah, no, it'd be scary once he's playing in the middle. I could just see Billy Slater saying to Selwyn Cobbo that your role is to run the ball and just literally run through the middle of the field. So it's quite dangerous, to be fair. It is quite dangerous. Now onto my negatives for the bench. So the things I don't like about the bench. Now, look, Grant, Fodawaker, Hopgood, and Cobbo. It's a pretty good bench in my opinion. Could be lacking another front rower, maybe like another prop. Like, see, I would have added Christian Walsh to the bench. Now, that's probably a unpopular opinion because Christian Walsh obviously is not in many people's predicted Maroons team from what I've seen. But I don't know. Walsh does the job. Christian Walsh is a very solid competitor, very good player. I believe he is still anyway, and he's a leader. And I think having his sort of experience off the bench would be really good for the Maroons team. So I'm a bit shocked he has not been selected at all, actually, because Billy Slater would know him from the Swarm days. But yeah, no, Welch, a bit of a shock to me. But look, other than that, it's a good bench by the Maroons, very mobile. Like obviously Hopgood will bring a lot of energy. Fodawaker is a gun, so he'll go well for them too. And yeah, Cobbo is a wild card off the bench. I can see that being a masterstroke there by Slater, having Cobbo come from the bench. And Harry Grant being the jersey 14 is probably another really smart move too. His impact would be crazy. But yeah, look, Dave Fafita, was he unlucky? I'm going to say he sort of was because I would have had, Dave Fafita probably starting and Sewer off the bench with maybe Hopgood missing out. I mean, Hopgood deserves it, but I just think that, yeah, Fafita has to be there somewhere. Like, honestly, Fafita has to be somewhere. Maybe Jeremiah Nanai misses out because I don't know if Nanai's been that great for the Cowboys either this year. But, yeah, Slater's opted to not choose Fafita so far for this series this year. So that's obviously his call. And look, Fafita's a gun, but can be inconsistent too. So I can see why Fafita has not been selected. But yeah, I feel like in an Origin arena, he'll normally go crazy and play really well. So yeah, oh well, it's a bit of a change, but I guess that's sort of Billy Slater's sort of taken it all. So yeah, look, that's my thoughts on both the Blues and Queensland teams there. I like our team. The Blues team looks great, but the Queensland team looks very strong as well. So yeah, obviously it'll be quite interesting to see how I guess both states do go against each other next Wednesday because yeah, both teams are very interesting. But you know, I'm sure the Blues will be up for them, so will Queensland. Now, on to the last part. All right, now look, this is my sort of brief reasons to why I believe Jake Trbojevic is the right call for the captaincy. Now, look, obviously, many people are saying that Jake Trbojevic does not deserve to play Origin. Jake's not a great captain for Origin, and you know, I've had to like hold my breath in, basically hold my breath in because I'm sick of people saying that Jake Trbojevic is not a leader. I mean, far out. He's definitely a leader. Like, honestly, watch him at Manly. He's literally another captain. Like, he seriously is the vice captain of Manly when Cherry Evans is actually the real captain. Jake's always in the background talking and being a real leader like he already is. But I don't know. Like, I've just seen people say that, oh, Jake's not worthy of Origin based on this year, whatever. But I love to just say I completely disagree with that because Jake's been one of our best so far this year for Manly. And you look at his stats, like look at Jake Trbojevic, or actually, no, look at the Blues stats without Jake Trbojevic. We struggle about having Jake there. We do. Honestly, the stats about Jake are very interesting. You know, I think most of the time, Jake's like ever since his debut in 2016 for the Blues, Jake Trbojevic, or 2017 may have been. The Blues have not. I forgot what percentage it was, but the Blues percentage about Jake is not great. So that's why Jake's so vital to this team because yeah, the Blues don't really go as well without him compared to when they have him. So yeah, very important having Jake in that team. But look, in terms of being a captain, it's the right call. Honestly, it's the right call. Jake's very passionate. He loves Manly, he loves the Blues, and you know, he's someone that the players will aspire to play for and play for. Because I have no doubt in mind that many players will play for Jake Trbojevic no matter what. You know, Jake loves being passionate. Like he's a very passionate captain, and sometimes can be really emotionally passionate too, which probably can sometimes be a negative too. But no, but I mean, like he's perfect for Origin. Like Jake's a very typical Origin leader, so I actually think it's great to see him get the captaincy. And Michael Maguire's done a great job there. At least Michael Maguire had the guts to choose Jake because, yeah, obviously not many people would have chosen Jake as captain. Actually, no, probably would have, but I think more people would have chosen Isaiah Yeo as captain or something. Like Isaiah Yeo is probably the next sort of captain after Teddy. But no, imagine went different. Michael Maguire went in a different route and chose Jake Trbojevic. So in my opinion, the right call. I love it. Obviously, as a Manly fan, we should be really biased about that too. So, yeah, it's my Manly bias coming out. But no, look, it's the right call. Jake's a great leader, and I can't stress that enough, honestly, because, yeah, I'm sure he won't let the state down. He'll play well for the Blues no matter what. And, yeah, no, he'll be great for the team as well. So I'm actually rapt to see Jake play for the Blues and be the captain as well for the very first time. It's just such a great achievement for him, honestly. Yeah, Monkey in the chat. Interesting that the two Manly captains up against each other. Yeah, well, two Manly players being the captains for both states. So that's the first time it's happened since Adrian Lamb and Brad Fittler in the year 2000. And obviously, Mal Meninga and Laurie Daly done it before in the year 2000. And no, actually, no. 1991, I think it was, and 1992. Yeah, so it's happened before when the two players from the same club have been captains for opposite states. It's happened before many times or a couple of times, but no, look, that's obviously my sort of take on Jake being captain. Right call, and I love it a lot. I love it. All right, well, that brings it into my thoughts on both the Maroons and Blues teams for this year. So, look, obviously, many people have got different thoughts on it. Some people hate the Blues team, and some people love the Blues team. I love it personally. I really do love it. So I'm backing it all the way, no matter what, and I'm backing what Madge does as well. The Queensland team, obviously, they're the enemy, they're the rival to me, so I can't really talk about Queensland too much, but their team's very strong. Like, obviously, they've got more available players compared to what the Blues have, so there's no excuses really for Queensland, honestly, but no, their team is really strong, and yeah, it'll be a very tough battle for the Blues, but I'm confident they can turn up and hopefully take up this year's series, no doubt. But everyone, thank you for watching. Appreciate you all that did tune in tonight and listen to my thoughts on both the Blues and Maroons teams right there. Yeah, appreciate it heaps. And if you were a new viewer to this YouTube channel, please be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and do show your support to the channel as always. And yeah, no, hopefully for those that have already subscribed and already watched the content, you know, I appreciate the support heaps. And yeah, great to see everyone in the live chat commenting and giving their thoughts on the team. So yeah, bring it on next Wednesday at Accor Stadium. So I wish I was going to Origin. I really wish I was. Don't think I will, but one day I'll go to the Blues or go to an Origin game and watch the Blues play and hopefully get a win. But thank you for watching, everyone. Have a good night. Thank you very much.